This is Andre Taylor. In this audio, I want to share with you two things never to leave out in business. I work with high-end and luxury businesses, and the people who run these businesses are often very good examples of top performers. First, you have to demand more to create and deliver a high-end product. Your vision must be way beyond the ordinary. Second, you must operate at a high level just as your way of doing business. Let me give you an example. I have never seen anyone do exceedingly well in business who did not engage in two things. The first is study. Those who make great products and deliver extraordinary services, those who make a lot of money and are at the top of their fields, constantly study their business and market. There's a level of detail that others do not know exists that the top performer is immersed in. This person studies whatever it is: interior design, personal image, makeup, graphic design, real estate, and they can talk about it at another level because they analyze it and study it. I look across sectors, and I see this everywhere. If you know about finance, you know about Warren Buffett, and you know that he reads a large portion of the day. If you look at some of the people on MasterClass, it's an app that I love. I've watched many of the interesting personalities and high achievers on this app. There's a level of detail that transcends what the average person will engage in. I'm captivated when I hear someone like Steve Martin talk about comedy, or Spike Lee talk about filmmaking, or Emerald talk about cooking. The masters study, which means reading, analyzing the work, noticing and digesting the lessons. But there's something else that separates the top performing, and that is applying what they learn. You don't get to be a top performer just because you study. You get there by applying. Now, in business, applying can take many different forms. But there's one application that most do not want to do, but I've noticed the top people, the memorable people, the history-making people always do. That second thing is selling. You're probably saying, Andre, selling? That's right. Top performers don't shy away from it. They make selling central to who they are and what they do. They know how to enroll others in what they offer. And they're promoting and pitching all the time, even when it doesn't seem like they are. I was watching recently a documentary about the singer Sam Cooke, and I'm always struck by the comments made by people who know a person well. It's how you really get to understand the subject. In this case, we might think about Sam Cooke's singing style, or his gospel roots, or even his untimely death. I would say most have no idea about his business acumen, but several of those interviewed said, first, he was always reading. Remember that? Study. In fact, one of his close associates, interviewed for the documentary, said he would watch Sam Cooke carefully because he'd visit him at his home and walk out with his books. Cooke was reading about business, politics, finance, and history. The other thing I noticed in this documentary was how, in archival interviews, Sam Cooke continually mentioned the songs he was writing, the recordings he had made, the record company he was building, and the artists he was signing. He was selling his vision to the record industry and fans constantly. You name a top performer, and you will see, in ways you may not have noticed before, they're constantly selling what they offer, selling their vision, selling their capabilities. They are so committed to the field they're in and the insights they've uncovered. They're selling, selling, selling. These two attributes and success habits, study and selling, are without question how so many luxury entrepreneurs and designers got their name out there. Before Ralph Lauren had a sales team, or Calvin Klein had a sales team, or Estee Lauder had a sales team, they sold what they had to offer. They studied their markets, came up with a new vision, and then shared their vision with the world continually. So when you run into someone who doesn't like to read, does not like to study, is offended if you bring up some level of detail about a subject, or is afraid that you're selling them something, or even reluctant to sell what they have to offer, just know this is not consistent with top performers and the most successful. Study what you do deeply until you uncover not only its essence, but a deeper understanding and vision. Next, don't be afraid to sell that understanding and vision to the world and to your market in business to help others. Some will run in the other direction, but there are more than enough people seeking to benefit, and in turn will make your business or your personal career an example of extraordinary success and prosperity. Two things: study and selling. Don't leave them out. This is Andre Taylor.